Shalom. We give all praises to Yahweh by Yeshua Yahushua by Yeshua Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders that rule well, and peace and blessing to you brothers out there that's keeping his word, sincerity, also in truth. As you can see, according to this news clip, you have a growing number of black women leaving churches for witchcraft. And, this is nothing new. Our ancestors, the our female ancestors were doing this in the ancient world. They were committing apostasy, which is, leaving the faith of Yahweh by Yeshua Yahushua and worshiping various idols. And the idol that our women love to worship is the Queen of Heaven. And this is precisely what you see these women doing in this particular clip. So it's, that same spirit of rebellion is here. And that's why, judgment is going to be issued out to our people, man, because our people have a very rebellious spirit. So let's go ahead and get to the article. I will go ahead and just read it for you guys. Now, this is a growing number of black women leaving churches for witchcraft. It says, for most, worship is a tradition that predates all of us. There is another more ancient art of worshiping, but it's not to God the Father, the Son, or the Holy Ghost, but to spirits and deities that span the ocean and dates back to pre-slavery days in Africa. A growing number of black women in Maryland are leaving traditional churches for witchcraft. WJZ's Vic Carter looks into the trend and discovers it's about more than spells and rituals. When asked if they were in fact witches, he got this response: that depends on how you look at it. A high priestess, Ayanfia Oya Deli Oginsina, a Copen state graduate. I am some whatever the situation calls for. If you come at me with respect, you get Glenda, the good witch from the suburbs. But if you come at me with negativity, meanness, and disrespect, then you will get Aveen, your worst nightmare. And these women, they're very egotistical. They're very prideful. They're very prideful, man. You think you could just, the Most High's gonna allow you just to get away with putting spells on people. The arrogancy of these women, in particular, these so-called black women, is, quite disgusting, man. And for that, the Most High is going to issue our judgment. But let me not digress too much. Let me keep on reading. They have many titles, and ranks within their belief system. The women are college-educated professionals who have chosen to believe that witchcraft is a truer example of worship, inclusive of the genders and connecting them to their ancestors. It feels a need not found in traditional worship. Most of them, like Rita Sango Yimi, grew up in church. I was Christian. I was raised Christian, said the Morgan State graduate. There are Christians in my family. In fact, my grandfather was a preacher in the South. I also grew up Christian. I grew up in Angelical in the Episcopal Church. The older I got, the more disconnected I felt with the church and not being moved by anything. Like, it just felt like words, like empty words. And you know what? I'll agree with that. That church is filled with vanity and lies. So it's so understandable that these women left the church. These various churches, man, which we know was set up by white supremacy, but they went to follow another vain idol. Herbalist Ayo Orsa Ifoniel came from similar beginnings. I was raised Baptist, she said. My father is a deacon. My mother is a deaconess. I was in church all the time, 3 times a week. These women are part of a sect. Al Ola Ofifi Osa Niji spiritual temple, where they worship and offer prayers to Osun, a predominant deity. She is the deity or the or Rasi of aesthetics, beauty, sex, and sensuality. Now, I'm going to start right there. Who does that sound like? Well, that sounds like the Queen of Heaven. And to prove that, let me go to a compact Bible dictionary. Now, this is according to the compact Bible dictionary that I have. And I just wanted to show you guys where I got this information that I'm about to relate. Now, the Queen of Heaven, it says a fertility goddess to whom the Israelites, especially the women of offered Salaki sacrifice and worship in the day before the fall of the southern kingdom of Judah. Jeremiah 7 and 18 and Jeremiah 44 and 17. In the time of Jeremiah, many people in Jerusalem and other cities of Judah worshiped the Queen of Heaven. Their worship included burning incense and pouring out drinks offerings to her. This obviously was a form of idolatry, but it is not clear exactly which pagan god was worshipped. The phrase Queen of Heaven may be a title for the god Ishtar, perhaps the same goddess as the biblical Ashtaroth. Cakes were also baked in honor of the Queen of Heaven. These cakes may have been in the shape of stars, crescent moons, or the female figure. The worship of this goddess was one of the evils that brought God's judgment upon Judah. Behold, my anger and my fury will be poured out on this place. And if you watch that particular vid, that's what the women was doing. They were offering cakes and food unto Oshun, okay, which is really another form or another word for what? The Queen of Heaven. You see, so let's get Jeremiah 7 and 18. Now this is Jeremiah 7 and 18. The children gather wood, and the fathers kindle the fire, and the women knead their dough to make cakes to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto other gods, that they may provoke me to anger. And that's what you saw in that clip. You see, well, if you were to go and play it, I didn't play it because I have my phone on airplane mode, so it'd be kind of hard for me to play it. And also do not disturb. But just for edification, if brothers wanted to go to this, man, check it out and see what these women are doing, man. These women are sacrificing, unto idols, man. They're giving her drinks and things of that nature. I believe if you read down in this article, matter of fact, you know what? That's what I'll do. If you read down in this, the offering, an omelet type dish, is sweetened with honey and believed to be a favorite of Osun. Prayers are said over the offering for the woman in need. And in this particular woman, she's trying to find a man, and so they're casting out spells, man. You see, and giving food offerings to an idol. It's just, madness. It's just madness. It's madness, But this is what our people are into, man. Now, this is Jeremiah 44 and 17. But we will certainly do. This is the woman talking. You know what? Just for edification, I'm going to read up for you guys. I'm going to start from the top and then read down to 17. The word. This is Jeremiah 44 and 144. The word that came to Jeremiah concerning all the Jews which dwelt in the land of Egypt, which dwelt at Migdal and at Taphanias, and at Nophs. And that word Nophs goes back to Memphis, if I'm not mistaken. I did a little research, very brief research on that. So all these various cities are cities that's in Egypt. And the countries of Pathros, saying, "Thus said Yahweh of hosts to the God of Israel, it's like the God of Israel, ye have seen all the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem and upon all the cities of Judah, and behold, this day they are a desolation, and no man draweth therein, because of the wickedness which they have committed to provoke me to anger, and that they went to burn incense and to serve other gods whom they knew not, neither they, yea, nor their fathers. Howbeit I sent unto you all my servants the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, Oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. But they hearken not, nor incline their ear to turn from their wickedness to burn no incense unto other gods." And you know what? It's a strong possibility that some of those women in that clip have heard about us, heard about, you know, them being the true nation of Israel. And they probably more than likely rejected it because they thought that it was a spinoff of Christianity, man, which is not. You know that? So, you know, a lot of these women that are into witchcraft and things of that nature, man, they're not going to have a cloak. They're going to be judged by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, man. Because we've been out here warning these people for years, man, to turn back to the truth, their true power. Wherefore my fury and my anger was poured forth and was kindled in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, and they are wasted and desolate as at this day. Therefore know thus saith Yahweh, the God of hosts, the God of Israel, wherefore commit ye this great evil against your souls, to cut off from you man and women, children and sucking, out of Judah, to leave you none remnant, and that ye provoke me unto wrath with the works of your hands, burning incense unto other gods in the land of Egypt, whether ye be gone to dwell, that ye might cut yourselves off, and that ye might be cursed and a reproach among all the nations on the earth. So here it is, Jeremiah saying, well, why are you provoking the Most High? You know, that he'll cut you off from being a nation, man. You know, in spiritual Egypt, our people are doing the same thing, burning incense to these idols, man, that have no merit, have no power. Why the hell would a god need an omelet? That makes absolutely no sense. Makes no sense, but that's what our people are into, man. We've been beat down, destroyed, maimed, you know, and you believe that giving an idol a dang on omelet is the solution. You know, this is the simplicity in our people, man. You know, and that's why our people are going to be destroyed. You know, have you forgotten the wickedness of your fathers, and the wickedness of the kings of Judah, and the wickedness of their wives, and your own wickedness, and the wickedness of your wives, which they have committed in the land of Judah and the streets of Jerusalem? They are not humble even unto this day, neither have they feared, nor walked in my law, nor in my statute that I set before you and before your fathers. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will set my face against you for evil, and to cut off Judah. And I will take the remnant of Judah that they have set their faces to go into the land of Egypt to sojourn there, and they shall all be consumed and fall in the land of Egypt. And where are we at now? Spiritually speaking, we are in the land of Egypt, alluding to what Revelation the 11th chapter. This place is spiritually Egypt, man. Okay, because you look at that word Egypt, it goes into the word Matazarium, which basically goes into double bondage or double straits. And this is where we receive that, hardcore bondage. So in the land of our captivity, our people are still doing the same thing, worshiping these false idols. These Hamitic gods have always been a stumbling block to the nation of Israel, in particular to our women. You see? And for that, these women shall be cut off. Their pride and their arrogancy that these women possess will be no more. They shall even be consumed by the sword and by the famine. They shall die from the least even unto the greatest, by the sword and by the famine. And they shall be an excretion and an astonishment and a curse and a reproach. For I will punish them that dwell in the land of Egypt, and I will punish Jerusalem by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence. So the Most High is going to send various judgment to our people. He's going to use famine, which is lack of food, that sword, which was what's the modern day sword, that gun, and also pestilence, these very diseases that you see popping up, man. All this is going to be issued out on our people for not following after the true power, man. So that none of the remnant of Judah, which are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there, shall escape or remain, that they should return to the land of Judah, to the which they have a desire to return to dwell there. For none shall return but such as shall escape. Then all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods, and all the women that stood by, a great multitude, even all the people that dwelt in the land of Egypt and Pathros, answered Jeremiah, saying, As for the word that thou hast spoken unto all in the name of Yahweh, we will not hearken unto thee, but we will certainly do whatever. And you could hear the woman saying this. You could hear a soul-cracked black woman saying this, man. And these simple, awful Negroes, man, saying this to the prophets. These hotep, Kemet, wanton, disgusting, decrepit, Negroes, man. But check this out, verse 17. But we will certainly do whatever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth, to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offering unto her, as we have done, we and our fathers, our kings and our princes, in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. For then have we plenty of victuals, and were well, and saw no evil. But since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, we have wanted of all things, and have been consumed by the sword and by famine. And these people are so backwards, they're not putting two and two together. And these people knew that they were Israelites. They knew that they were Israelites, man. So here they are, they're committing apostasy, leaving their original religion / culture, if you will, and worshiping idols. You see, and they think because they stopped believing in the Queen of Heaven that the sword came upon them. No, it was because you left the true power. You see, and when we burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and pour out drink offerings unto her, did we make her cakes to worship her and pour out drink offerings unto her without our man? You hear this shit? Like, look, I did this, that my man. Excuse my language, man. It's just this, but this is what our people, this is what our women are into, man. Hey, the brother just sent the article to a chat. You have Christian witches now, women that are Christian, but they believe in witchcraft, which is a clear violation of the scriptures, man. But this is what our people are into, and our women are into, man. Our women are always into the next vibe. That's Eve for you, man. Love to travel. Love to get into things. Love to try something new. You know? Then Jeremiah said unto all the people, to the man and to the women, and to all the people which had given him that answer, saying, the incense that ye burn in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, yea, and your fathers, your kings, and your princes, and the people of the land, did not Yahweh by Shimei remember them, and came it not into his mind, so that Yahweh could not longer bear, because of the evil of your doings, and because of the abominations which ye have committed. Therefore is your land a desolation and an astonishment and a curse without inhabitant as at this day. And that particular precept, Jeremiah 44 and 22, that's the same. Our people are in that same plight, destitute, without a land, without resources, without a family, without a culture, because we are worshiping these various idols, man. And these women out there that are into this, man, you will be judged by the Heavenly Father, man. Because ye have burnt incense, and because ye have sinned against Yahweh by Ishmael Shah, and have not obeyed the voice of Yahweh by Ishmael Shah, nor walked in his law, nor in his statutes, nor in his testimonies. Therefore, this evil is happened unto you as at this day. That's right. Moreover, Jeremiah said unto all the people and to all the women, hear the word of Yahweh, all Judah that are in the land of Egypt. Thus said Yahweh by Shimei of hosts, the God of Israel, saying, ye and your wives have both spoken with your mouths and fulfilled with your hands, saying, we will surely perform our vows that we have vowed, to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her. Yea, surely ye will surely accomplish your vows, and surely perform your vows. Therefore hear ye the word of Yahweh, and all Jerusalem that dwell in the land of Egypt. Behold, I have sworn by my great name, said Yahweh by Ishmael Shah, that my name shall no more be named in the mouth of any of man of Judah in the land of Egypt, saying, Yahweh liveth. Behold, I will watch over them for evil and not for good. So the Most High is going to send plagues on us. And that he sent plagues on us. And he's still sending plagues on us because our people are still not giving him the praise, man. How do you give the Most High praise? By doing what he says to do. Obedience is better than sacrifice. Okay? And all the men of Judah that are in the land of Egypt shall be consumed by the sword and by famine until there be an end of them. And that's what happened to our men. Our men are locked up in jail. You see what I'm saying? Dying, at exponential rates by the sword, killing one another. Homosexuals dying by pestilence. Okay? All types of madness is happening to our men. Why is that? Because our people don't want to worship the Heavenly Father. And you women are a huge catalyst to that, man. And you will be judged also. Isaiah 32:9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the venture shall fail, the gathering shall not come. And a lot of these women are think that they are able to do these, commit idol worship, things of that nature, because they're comfortable. They have money. If you notice, if you know what we read in that article, majority of those women had very good jobs, were college grads and things of that nature. So it was fine financially speaking. So that when that ventures fail, we're gonna see if you call on Ocean. We shall see. We will see. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins, that they shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. Upon the land of my people shall come up thorns and bristles, yea, upon all the house of joy in the joyous city. That's right. So the venture shall fail. Thorns and bristles is representing what? That famine, man. Hey, what's going on in Venezuela? You have people that's eating rotten meat. When you see that the price of that food go up because of these various trade wars, then people are gonna have more questions about the Heavenly Father, man. You see? Then they're gonna be willing to listen in that day. Okay? Yep. Isaiah 47:8. Therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am and none else besides me. That pride that you see in these women, man, that I'm every woman's spirit. You know, that woman, the prophetess, you know, the fake prophetess, priestess, excuse me, was saying that, well, I'm everything that, you know, it depends on the situation. And that's the mindset of you women. You know, very prideful and arrogant. Okay. And none else besides me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. That's right. All these enchantments that you saw these women doing. You see, in that day, you know, we will see if that'll prevail, man. You see? Verse 10, for thou hast trust in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else besides me. Yeah, and you see that now. I hope that feminist movement in the so-called black community, man. You see, which is a product of white supremacy. You see these women being very, very prideful and very arrogant, man. All that's gonna be brought very low really soon, man. If you have ears to hear, you better listen. It's gonna get bad out here for you women, man. You see, you're gonna figure out soon that you are the weaker vessel. Okay? When all hell breaks loose, we're gonna see how strong you are. Call Allah Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai.